Hi, This Is Us fans. Welcome back to Tori Talks TV. I'm Tori.
And I'm Dr. S.
In this video, we'll be discussing This Is Us Season 6, Episode 4, entitled Don't Let Me Keep You, which now is so heartbreaking.
It has so much meaning.
It really does. So this is obviously after Jack finds out that his mom dies. So he must head to Ohio, where he moved her so many years ago to get away from his dad. But he wants to do this by himself, so he leaves Rebecca and the kids behind.
Yes.
And how did you feel about that? Like, I mean, I know Rebecca wanted to go, but how did you feel about just maybe something similar you've gone through?
Something very similar. I have to say, this just happened to me. My father passed away over the holidays, and I almost went to do the services out of state and didn't take my kids and husband, but then I got advised to consider it and asked them, and they wanted to go, so we all went, and it was really good, I think, for everyone to have that, to process the grief and also spend time with other people who are important to my dad. So yeah. But this episode struck so many chords in me, so yeah, I can't wait to dive into it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, Jack ends up there and we get to meet Cousin Debbie, and she is not even consoling. She's just like, where have you been the last 13 years?
She's great. And I love Cameron Manheim ever since the practice. So I'm so happy to see her, and she's just was so curmudgeon-y.
Yeah.
She was great.
Yes, back on TV. He gets to learn a little bit more about his mom's life because he really didn't know about her inner circle. She had a boyfriend. And
such a fun guy.
He's so delightful.
I loved that she had
the
this
appeal.
Yeah, the fun that he realized that his mom was having. It was really nice, but also really sad.
Really sad. And then she had a cat
named Cat.
Cat Benatar.
Cat Benatar. How great was that?
Oh, perfect. I was loving that. I was a little distracted by that, but I was like, if I ever get a cat, that's definitely what I'm going to name it. But yeah, so something that really struck me was that his mom, after she moved to Ohio, she said, I'm going to call you every Sunday at 6 o'clock, and it'll just be their little ritual, and I think that is so sweet.
Yeah.
But it's so sad that these flashbacks he keeps having about him and his little toboggan, and just even when she said, oh, you got to come skating on this pond with the kids, and like it never happened, and it's not that he didn't want to see her, it's that life happened.
I know.
That made me feel so bad for him.
And that's so real. That is exactly what happens, right? You get busy with your own lives as an adult child, and you put things off, and then all of a sudden something happens, and then you don't get the opportunity to do those things.
Right.
It's really sad.
I know. So, I mean, anybody watching, maybe visit your parents every once in a while, or whoever you consider your parents.
Yeah. And it was so interesting that they talked every Sunday at 6, right? That seemed to be without fail it happened. Yet even though they talked maybe more than other parents talk to their children when they become adults, they still didn't know very much. He didn't know very much about her.
Right.
And that was really sad.
I can imagine she just asked about the kids, and he kind of said it, and then he had to go probably. And I don't blame him at all. I don't want him to feel bad for that, but he does. Yeah. And it was really sweet. After that, he broke the toboggan. He comes in and she makes him his favorite hot dogs and tomato soup, which I don't like either of those, but I can see why that'd be very comforting. It's very warm. It was snowing. And then back at the bar, he has her favorite drink, 7 and 7, with that little group of friends, and he's imagining his mom in his place.
That 360 where he then took her place. That was beautiful.
Excellent. Very artistic. And then he builds up the courage to call his dad and tell him about it.
Were you so nervous that he was going to show up?
Yes.
I really liked the way they did that, because in the funeral scene when he kept looking over his shoulder, and it was mimicking that fear that his mom had of going back to the town where he left. She just couldn't go back because it would trigger so much for her. And then the way they created that anxiety in the church space too, where every noise he would get jumpy too.
Wow.
Because he was a victim of abuse as well. So I just thought that was so well done.
Excellent observation.
Like chills again. Like I just really thought it was so, the way that they wove in the long psychological effects of abuse into the whole story was really, really moving.
Yes, and just when he thought he had to be anxious, he was actually comforted because Rebecca shows up with the kids. I didn't expect that.
I didn't at all. They kept showing the door. It would have been too cliche for his dad to come in and just be like drunk or whatever, right? But still, you have that fear because that's what he had the fear of, and his mom had the fear of, and then it was so comforting. I think that's what was the catalyst for him to actually know what to say at the eulogy. right? Because he probably felt that sense of release or relief when he saw his family walk through the door.
Right.
And then he realized like why he couldn't really, I think he really couldn't be that close to his mom, because when they were together, it basically brought back all those memories of his whole life.
Yeah.
So it's sad, but it's kind of like they had to be the way they were, separate, but still connected, but not as intimate as they both thought they wanted to be.
Right.
It was really sad.
Yes, and in his dad's side of it, he seems like his dad finally got it right. He did not show up. He finally did something right for her and did not show up there. But he gets to have his moment with his kids, ice skating on the pond, because she had that box with all their names on it.
Oh my gosh, that was heartbreaking.
Oh, so beautiful.
Little knitted little koozies for the blades.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
She's such a peach. Oh, rest in peace.
I know.
But yes, and then I have to say the most relatable thing for me was after Jack is back home with the kids and he made the hot dogs and tomato soup and they loved it, he has to leave and say out loud and break down that he doesn't have a mom anymore. I felt like that was so relatable to me. Having lost my father, I swear to you, I had to say it out loud.
Yeah.
It's just like to make it feel real.
I remember you told me that, and then I have since then, in the last few weeks, said it out loud too. Like, I'll just go up to my husband and say, my daddy's dead.
Literally the same thing.
My dad's dead. Like, I just have to say it so that it's real. And sometimes I just tell random people, like, I'm sorry I haven't been here lately. My dad died. Just because I need to, like...
Right? And people that haven't been through it don't understand. They're like, what, are you looking for attention? You want me to feel sorry for you? No, I have to say it.
Because otherwise, because I didn't really see him that much. He lived in another state. So you could really just pretend it didn't happen if you don't see them that often. So I think saying it out loud makes it real for you.
It's an interesting component to grief and when that happens. But I just kind of say it randomly. But this is such a beautiful episode. Yeah. And we got to see more of Jack.
Yes,
Milo Ventimiglia. Yes,
I know.
Yes. But we will be back to the big 3 storylines in the next episode, it looks like. So this is just progressing. I still don't know how many episodes this is. This last season. And I keep trying to find little hints, and I don't know if they're going to tell us.
Okay.
Yeah. Who knows
It
how
better
long
be a lot.
I know.
The last chapter. Every time it says the last chapter, by the way, it makes me really sad.
Oh, I know.
Stop saying that.
I know. Stop throwing it in our face. Well, anyway, this was a treat. Please let us know what you thought of this episode by commenting below. And then if you could, we'd appreciate if you'd like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.